The New Orleans Police Department is one step closer to exiting the consent decree after a federal judge's ruling this morning.
Chris Welty explains what this means for the department and the city.
After more than a decade of overhauling culture and policies within the NOPD, the department must prove for 2 years that it can sustain reforms implemented under the federally mandated consent decree. In court, city leaders and the Department of Justice shaking hands after the judge granted the sustainment plan and period.
It is a huge milestone for the city. I'm excited about it.
Federal Judge Susie Morgan said, quote, "The NOPD is a far different agency from the one that spawned DOJ's investigation in 2011 and the imposition of the consent decree in 2013. The judge went on to say, quote, "What perhaps is most notable to the court, however, is the willingness of NOPD to identify and take meaningful steps to correct shortcomings on its own."
If you can continue to talk even through differences, it matters. And so I'm going to stay the course.
NOPD as well as the federal government acknowledge more reforms need to take place.
My commitment is to reform-mindedness, whether there's a consent or not. So that is not really a change. We're just going to press in all the more. There will be no pulling back. It's just going forward and pressing in even all the best.
The court, the federal monitors will be waiting in the wings to be able to see how everything goes with the NOPD, but it is powerful to know that they're still there. The voice of the federal government is extremely powerful in these types of police reforms.
Judge Morgan noted recent NOPD missteps, including lack of supervision over the Executive Protection Unit, the Public Integrity Bureau's handling of the Jeffrey Vappie investigation, and concerns regarding use of force against black women as needed reforms to fulfill consent decree compliance. Monday, protesters outside of court said they do not believe NOPD is ready to enter sustainment or exit the decree.
They should be looking more towards the community for oversight of the police. Federal oversight isn't enough.
NOPD maintains it will continue implementing reforms and creating checks and balances to ensure the consent decree terms are met. Chris Welty, Fox 8 Local First.
Judge Morgan denied the city's request to terminate the consent decree outright, and she denied Attorney General Liz Murrell's request to assist the city.
We need this thing to be over. Everybody agrees that the city is compliant, and NOPD needs to be focused on one thing: protecting the people of New Orleans and the people who visit there.
They actually kind of, shot themselves in the foot, really, by having these dueling motions, which the judge also acknowledged.
If the NOPD maintains all reforms, the consent decree could end in 2